Hello guys, so we are now in Dubai in the business hub of these days, and we met with my friend Alex Fazel from Swissborg. It's a crypto wealth management app, and he's chief officer of partnerships. Nice to have you.
Yeah,
Alex.
lovely to see you. Awesome to always bump into you around the world.
Yeah, so tell us your story. How did you get into crypto? Which year did you know out about it first?
You know, it's really funny. So my brother fell in love with Ethereum more than Bitcoin because he thought that Ethereum could really change financial services and not just, decentralized money or the best store of value or digital gold 2.0. He told me to buy Ethereum when it was like roughly between $10 to $13, which I didn't do. I didn't
But that's
do.
super early.
So stupid of me. Like my own brother gave me advice. I didn't do it. But
Did your brother buy?
yeah, he got in early. Like I think Ethereum was really what caught his attention. But for me, like it was actually a very meaningful story. So my family's from Iran, and as those who know out there, like Iran was one of the countries that was sanctioned. Once. By the United States, and sanctions seem like a little governmental issue, but actually it affects the entire population of a country. Like sanctions are serious. My dad had a very good job, managing director at an oil refining company. He lost his job the next day because when you have sanctions, you can't trade with people anymore. You lose all your clients. You can't trade with the EU zone, and he lost his job immediately. And on top of losing your jobs and your wealth, what happens when a company creates a sanction like this? And the second part about sanctions and why it's such a big problem is the fact that it shuts down all your bank accounts. So my dad, he lived more than 2 decades in the EU. He went to university in England and he went to Ireland as well. And all of his bank accounts called him, all of the companies or banks he was using called him and say, "We're very sorry, Mr. Fazel, we have to cut off your accounts because you're Iranian, etc., etc." So not only he lost his job, he lost his income, but I couldn't wire money. You can't wire money because there's no bank that is willing to treat with an Iranian bank. So it's a very, very tragic situation. And my brother was sending him Bitcoin. So that caught my attention because I wanted to, take a percentage of my income and send it to my dad without having these stupid regulations and stupid sanctions, this child play affecting the life of my own father.
And which year was it when your brother discovered Bitcoin and used it for transfers?
2016, yeah. And we started sending, Bitcoin to my dad in 2017, and then they lifted the sanctions and then dropped it again. And so now, as of today, the only way for me to provide for my father in this lockdown or in this pandemic is Bitcoin. So how beautiful is that?
Yeah, and in what do you see the value of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency?
That's a really good question because, a lot of people, first of all, the word value, I think it's 100% arbitrary, right? For me, intrinsic value, the only thing that has real value are things that are vital, like the elements of life, air, water, food, those are vital. And then everything else is subjective or arbitrary. So a lot of people say Bitcoin has no value. Well, guess what? Look at the network. If you look at Metcalfe's law, which was a valuation model for Facebook, more people use it, the more people believe in it, the more valuable it is. So for me, it's more that contemporary day frameworks to measure value are just not up to date with cryptocurrency and Bitcoin.
Yeah, and can you tell more about Swissborg and what is the big vision of Swissborg?
Yeah, thank you so much for asking. So Swissborg is all about being, fun, fair, and community-centric. So we were funded through an ICO, not through VCs, or never did an equity round. We want to make it fair so everyone can actually access best execution through technology, and we want to make it fun, right? So why can't we make investing fun, right? So that people don't think like, oh, it's one of those boring routine tasks that's going to take much of my time. So we try to combine those three, and we're very, very proud because I think on top of the mission, like in terms of values, like ethical behavior is one of the most important things. We did an ICO in 2017. We're in 2021, our tokens are still locked. We've never received our tokens. So we try to do everything extremely ethically and always think about the community first.
So is Swissborg more focused on retail investors, or do you have as well interest from institutionals?
We're getting interest amongst institutions, and even though that's where most of the money is, we're very happy to provide these solutions to the community because, you know, like institutions have had access to investment solutions for a very long time, and we were, the average Joe like me wasn't a part of that party, that kind of like exclusive party, sorry. So making things more inclusive for the community and the retail aspect is what drives us. Will we move to institutions in the future? We started with corporate accounts and stuff like that, but it's a bit slower. The community always matters the most.
Yeah, and I've heard that you just recently launched Yield Farm wallets. Can you tell more about that and how users can benefit from this?
So that's a really good question. I mean, as of today, we know that Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain are the two main hubs for yield farming. But the issue about yield farming is, as we know, there were hacks, economical smart contracts, there are liquidation risks. There's no product that will give you the best risk return yielding products. So what I mean by best risk return is we try to mitigate the risk by creating like risk assessment levels. We look at platforms, we grade them on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being like completely secure, which does not exist, and 0 being like you cannot trust it, it's going to have some sort of issue. And we really created a system where we score, just like the Moody's or S&P, we score each platform, and if it doesn't get at least, you know, a 6.5 out of 10, we don't use it, we don't touch it. And then on top of that, we mitigate the risk by putting your funds into multiple DeFi platforms. So we diversify the portfolio through 5 to 8 platforms. So if one gets hacked, it's still a very little percentage. And what if it does get hacked? Well, first of all, before actually talking about the safety net, we also use Binance Smart Chain. We tend to use it more than Ethereum because Binance has more funds. And when they had 2 hacks recently, they refunded people almost on the same day because they have the funds. So that's also risk mitigation. And the last layer is a safety net, where every day we take a percentage of what we generate and put it into a safety net in case one of those platforms get hacked. We can still, you know, recover and refund, you know, people using the smart yield. So I guess it's not, we don't offer 200% APY, but we do have the best risk return yielding product, I believe, in the industry as of today.
And is your yielding product managed by AI?
Yes, everything. So we've connected all the platforms, you know, technologically, and then all we need to do is the manual work is more from, when you look at risk mitigation, we look at the technological layer where the smart contract devs just zoom into the smart contract, look at GitHub, is this clean, does the code look reliant? And then once that gets approved, the technological due diligence, it goes through economical due diligence. Is this platform connected to flash loans? Because flash loans are cool, but they're also extremely dangerous, right? You can create, and then we look at the liquidity, which asset. So once it goes, those are the manual procedures. And then we just, every day, we take your crypto and we rebalance it every day. So you don't have to look which platform has the best return, which one is the riskiest. It's all automated in 3 taps on your phone.
And what are your plans for development of Swissborg? Do you plan to connect more exchanges, particularly DEXs?
Yeah, thank you so much. I didn't even mention that. So the idea of Swissborg is kind of like a sky scanner or hotels.com for hotels. We find the best price, best liquidity. But I think the future for Swissborg, number one, is we want to be the number one option in the EU. So we really want to localize things. We don't want to have one product for all. We want to have, you know, our app in French and German, Spanish, Italian, and really address the concerns of the EU primarily, of course, be accessible for others. And on top of that, like this year, we want to add more yielding products. So more smart yield, Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, all the major assets for people to be able to earn yields in case we hit a bear market or something, so that people can still continue to grow their wealth.
That's great that you focus on particular regions, and I think it will give you opportunity to expand later and have bigger success, for example, in other regions as Asia or USA, for example, or even here in Middle East. And as well, last year your native token, CHSB, saw tremendous growth and very good performance. I saw it got like to top 55. on CoinMarketCap. Today it was like 71 on CoinMarketCap, but it's not listed on that many exchanges. And do you plan to list it on some more exchanges?
Yes, Anna, please help us get listed. Binance, Huobi, anyone, please. We've been trying very hard to try to get listed. I think the beauty of the story is, like coins like Celsius as well, Cell, hasn't been listed on any big exchanges and reached, top 30 by market cap. So one thing that's cool is you no longer need Binance or Huobi to actually go up in market cap. Although for liquidity reasons, and of course Binance is amazing, Huobi is amazing, we're trying our best to get listed, hopefully soon.
Yeah, I think you have such a big community, more than 100,000 app downloads. So users, so definitely all these big exchanges should accept you.
Yeah.
And by the way, turning to investment sites, can you tell us what are your altcoin picks right now and why?
Absolutely. So I've been a BNB bull since 2017. So BNB coin is the best coin in terms of utilities, in terms of tokenomics. There's no better coin than BNB. And we posted something in 2017, like summer, saying that this is the ultimate token to have, because the utilities are connected to two important things, right? It's connected to money, so you save money, and it's connected to time as well. But also in terms of the money, you save money, but also you can earn money now, because they have the launch pad where you can farm with BNB and you get access to, it's like a IO/farm, where you get access to new tokens that list on BSC, which by the way, they moon. So you can farm with BNB, you can yield it, you can save money, you can earn money. And on top of that, it has the buyback burn mechanism. You can spend it through their card. It has such robust tokenomics. I still remain extremely bullish. People may say the risk side of thing is maybe the legal side. If one country, the regulators crack down on them, but they're generating so much money on top of that. Their traction, they're getting over 1 million users a day recently going on their platform, and that just makes BNB stronger because it has the pumpamentals, as Ivan on Tech would say. So BNB number one, and then two. So I love exchange-related tokens. So I love Uniswap. Obviously CHSB, I believe in 100%. The yielding tokens like Cell was very, very powerful. Every token that has real tokenomics, that is touching real money, that's generating money and has traction and growth are really good signs. And then one more token I'd love to mention in terms of protocols, because I also believe in not only exchange tokens or yielding tokens, but also protocols. And protocols, there's a Definity ICP token, which is coming out soon. It hasn't hit the market, but I think just because I know the engineers there and I know how intelligent and talented they're all from Google, Facebook, all the big tech companies. I think that ICP is going to be an interesting one once it comes out,
Yeah, so our audience should check out them and try Swissborg app. I will leave the link in the commentaries to that video, and check out Swissborg. And thank you, Alex, for being on our channel. It was a real pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me, Anna. Lovely to always see you.
Lovely to see you too.